Have you ever imagined a moment when the steel of truth becomes so sharp that each word, forged in the fire of experiences, calls the chosen ones to awaken? At this very instant, it is necessary to mix courage with the determination of those who were created to face the greatest challenge, to lift their own soul and fight with a strength that withstands the weight of choices. It's time to face the price of fear, even when it seems justified, and to become unwavering, indestructible, untouchable, and firm, ready to fear only the breaking of the chains that imprison us, knowing that the consequences of not acting can transform our existence forever. You, who feel the weight of daily choices and the constant search for something that fills that inner void, are one of the true chosen ones destined to transcend the ordinary. Just like steel, molded and forged in the fire of the most intense experiences, your essence has been sculpted by challenges that many fear but few can understand. It is time to mix courage with the determination of those who were created to face the greatest challenge, to rise above fear and fight against the forces that weigh on your existence. Even when fear seems justified, each break and each consequence are, in fact, invitations to become unwavering, indestructible, and with a mind always as sharp as steel, transform each obstacle into a step towards overcoming. Prepare yourself to dive even deeper into this transformative journey, for what you are about to discover goes beyond a mere promise. It is the key to unveiling secrets that can change the course of your life. Imagine a world where each challenge is faced with a strength that makes you untouchable and firm in the journey, where the price of ignoring this call translates into a lost opportunity to be reborn. In the coming moments, I will reveal paths and tools that will transform doubts into certainties, awakening in you the desire to rise against the unknown. If you hesitate now, you may end up losing the chance to discover a learning that might be exactly what was missing to transform your existence. Divine teachings offer a solid and timeless foundation for building a fulfilling life, where the path to realization is not locked in inflexible dogmas, but reveals itself as a personal experience of discovery and growth. This ancient wisdom, which transcends generations and cultures, proposes principles of love, compassion, and integrity that invite us to look inward and transform each challenge into an opportunity for learning. By internalizing these truths, we realize that the true wealth of life lies in the ability to connect our inner selves with the world around us, allowing the light of understanding to illuminate even the darkest moments and propel us to live with authenticity and purpose. God's wrath, often misinterpreted as relentless punishment, is actually revealed as a subtle and profound call for inner transformation. It does not arise to destroy, but to challenge us to rethink our paths and correct the deviations that distance us from a harmonious existence. By facing this energy with an open mind, we understand that it functions as a mirror reflecting our flaws and simultaneously inviting us to rebuild and strengthen our essence. Thus, each manifestation of this wrath can be seen as a divine impulse directing us towards renewal and realignment with a higher purpose, transforming apparent punishment into an opportunity for spiritual evolution. Divine justice presents itself as a universal force, acting in a balanced and harmonious way in all corners of existence, without distinction or partiality. This principle, which transcends limited human understanding, reveals that every action generates a reaction, composing a symphony of balance where good and evil oppose each other in a fair and proportional manner. By observing the natural flow of events, we perceive that the universal order does not fail to manifest its equity, inviting us to live with integrity and recognize that by practicing justice in our own lives, we contribute to the maintenance of harmony in a world full of contrasts. Each choice we make carries an immeasurable spiritual weight, influencing not only our personal trajectory, but also the delicate balance of the universe around us. Genuine transformation begins from the inside out when we come to understand that we are the artisans of our destiny, responsible for each thought, action, and emotion. By assuming this responsibility, we awaken to the awareness that our attitudes have the power to create or destroy, to build up or break down the foundations of our own existence. This perception drives us to constantly seek inner evolution, recognizing that true power lies in the ability to transform our lives through self-knowledge and commitment to values that elevate our essence. The teachings that guide us are not limited to sacred texts or isolated rituals, but but manifest in every aspect of our daily lives, revealing themselves as a practical compass to face everyday challenges. Whether by forgiving an offense, seeking truth amidst conflicts, or finding beauty in small things, spirituality becomes a constant ally that transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. This intimate connection between the sacred and the mundane shows us that by integrating these principles into our routines, each gesture and decision becomes a living expression of a universal truth, capable of providing us with clarity, balance, and a renewed sense of purpose with each dawn. When faith intertwines with reason, it creates a space for reflection where the mysteries of existence can be analyzed with depth and clarity, resulting in an enriching synthesis that guides our decisions. This convergence does not impose absolute truths, but offers a structure that protects our journey from the pitfalls of doubt and despair, providing tools to discern the highest path to follow. By valuing both feeling and logical thinking, we discover that universal principles, such as compassion, balance, and integrity, act as beacons that illuminate our steps, allowing us to face challenges with confidence and wisdom. This harmonization between the sacred and the rational not only strengthens us, but also teaches us to live with purpose, and to transform each decision into an act of conscious faith. Over the centuries, various traditions have gifted us with parables and stories that powerfully illustrate how a lack of awareness can lead to the downfall of those who stray from the path of truth. In legends told by ancestral peoples, the steel that was not sharpened in the fire of experience became fragile, and those who ignored sacred teachings found themselves submerged by the price of their misguided choices. These narratives, filled with symbolism and warning, show that neglecting to cultivate inner wisdom destabilizes not only the individual but also the collective order, requiring the chosen ones to rise and restore balance, thereby transforming each break into an opportunity to be reborn more unshakable. Other tales, as old as time, invite us to imagine scenarios where fear and arrogance led great civilizations to ruin, proving that a lack of discernment always has its price. Just like the legend of the hero who flew too high, only to see his fate sealed by his own pride, these stories reinforce that justice manifests as the fire that forges character, correcting paths and inviting internal transformation. Each narrative serves as a warning. When beings created to be strong allow themselves to be dominated by ignorance, imbalance sets in, and only through the awakening of consciousness can the weight of errors be prevented from becoming irreparable consequences. Turning the pages of history, we find countless cases where misguided actions triggered the wrath of divine designs and the collapse of once firm empires. Accounts of civilizations that, at their peak, allowed themselves to be driven by fear and excessive ambition show, in almost palpable ways, how neglecting to follow the precepts of wisdom cost these peoples dearly. Empires that seemed unbreakable succumbed to the weight of their own contradictions, paying the price for choices that distanced them from the teachings that would make them truly indestructible. These episodes, marked by dramatic downfall, serve as lessons so that the chosen ones do not repeat the same mistakes, but instead draw inspiration from the need to rise and fight for a path of evolution and balance. Beyond empires, the personal history of great leaders and thinkers also reveals that true transformation occurs when one recognizes error and acts to repair inner disharmony. Figures who, in the face of fear and the consequences of their choices, decided to blend reason with emotion and re-evaluate their values, managed to become living examples of overcoming. These trajectories, marked by moments when the fire of change propelled them to seek a new way of being, demonstrate that even the rawest steel can be molded and sharpened to become unshakable. The lesson drawn from such historical accounts is clear. Reconciliation with divine teachings is the key to transforming the price of past mistakes into a driving force for a future of redemption. Today, the events that surround us seem to carry echoes of these ancient teachings, revealing that the signs of the times manifest subtly and incisively, as alerts calling our attention. Each crisis, each abrupt change in society, can be seen as the fire that forges a new order, where the weight of individual choices translates into collective lessons for the chosen ones. By imagining that the universe sends us messages to raise our consciousness and face the fears that paralyze us, we realize that the price of inaction can be the irreversible loss of balance. These signs, although discreet, prompt us to deeply reflect on our own trajectory and recognize that for justice to be restored, it is necessary for each of us to become aware of the importance of acting with responsibility and compassion, transforming apparent chaos into a path of evolution and harmony. Take a moment and allow yourself to dive into the depths of your being. Look inward and identify those behaviors that often stray from the divine teachings that were created to guide our journey. Just as steel becomes sharper when subjected to the fire of experience, our soul needs to be forged through self-knowledge so that we can become truly unshakable. Question yourself. Do your attitudes reflect the path that will lead you to the greatest good? Or do they weigh on you like a burden, compromising your essence and preventing you from rising to face challenges? Recognizing where the break occurs is the first step to transforming the price of misguided choices into an opportunity to be reborn, renewed, and prepared to fight for a life more aligned with your true purpose. As you continue this inner journey, allow yourself to imagine a path where every decision is an invitation to rise and overcome the internal barriers that hold you back. It is not just about identifying flaws, but understanding the weight that each attitude carries and how it can distance you from the potential that was destined for you. Even when fear seems justified, it should not be the anchor that prevents you from transforming. Recognizing the moments when you allowed yourself to be brought down is essential to rebuilding your strength, making your being as untouchable and firmly structured as steel that becomes sharper with each trial. This journey of introspection is an act of courage, propelling you to mix reason with emotion, transforming each obstacle into a step towards your personal evolution. To convert this self-reflection into concrete changes, it is essential to adopt daily practices that strengthen the connection with divine teachings. Guided meditations, introspection exercises, and maintaining a gratitude journal are tools that act as the fire that forges the steel of your essence, helping you identify and correct patterns that may provoke divine wrath. Dedicate moments of silence to breathe deeply, listen to your inner voice, and allow each thought to transform into a seed of renewal. By integrating these habits into your routine, you not only prevent the price of misaligned behaviors from becoming a burden, but also build a solid foundation that makes you increasingly unshakable and prepared to face life's challenges. Stories of personal transformation are everywhere, serving as inspiration for those who dare to acknowledge their mistakes and rise again with determination. Think of those who, facing the weight of their mistakes, found within themselves the strength necessary to fight against fear and the limitations imposed by the past. These individuals, who refused to let the consequences of misguided choices define their destiny, became examples of resilience, demonstrating that it is possible to transform each break into an opportunity for rebirth. By aligning themselves with divine principles, they became truly indestructible and untouchable, proving that even in adversity, there is a path for evolution and the rescue of the true self. At this stage of our journey, the message becomes clear. Personal transformation begins within, with the courage to look inward and the determination to act. Each practice of meditation, each moment of introspection, and each example of overcoming reinforces that the price of self-knowledge is an investment in your own evolution. You, who were created to be one of the chosen ones, have the ability to transform the weight of past mistakes into renewed strength, becoming unshakable and prepared to fight for a fulfilling life. Do not fear facing your weaknesses. On the contrary, use them as a springboard to become more firmly connected to the teachings that illuminate the path to a balanced existence. Change is possible, and it begins now. With each conscious decision you make to move closer to a future where divine justice manifests as an invitation to your rebirth. When analyzing divine justice, three fundamental pillars emerge that reveal the complexity of higher designs and the need for inner transformation. The first of these pillars is the nature of divine wrath. When we talk about God's wrath, we do not refer to arbitrary punishment or uncontrolled fury, but to a sacred mechanism of restoration and balance. Just as fire purifies and transforms steel, divine wrath acts to correct crooked paths and restore order where chaos has settled. This energy, which may seem severe at first glance, is actually an invitation for beings to recognize their flaws and seek renewal. It challenges us to see that true power lies not in destruction, but in the ability to rebuild the essence of being, to forge again with greater wisdom and discernment. When divine wrath manifests, it does not aim to punish merely punitively. Its purpose is to recalibrate the cosmic balance, offering the opportunity for a spiritual rebirth that strengthens the individual and rescues universal harmony. However, the impact of misguided choices is not limited to the personal sphere. Each decision made without awareness carries a high price that reverberates throughout the order of the universe. The consequences of choices manifest in multifaceted ways. They can destabilize individual life, break effective bonds, corrode essential values, and ultimately compromise the delicate balance that sustains collective existence. When individuals are led by fear, arrogance, or negligence of the teachings that should guide them, the result is a disorder that spreads like a wave, affecting not only the author of the error but everyone around them. This chain of events demonstrates that responsibility for each act is fundamental to maintaining divine order. It is essential to understand that each misguided attitude, no matter how small, has the potential to generate devastating consequences, transforming what could be a path of evolution into a cycle of downfall and disillusionment. Taking responsibility for one's own actions is, therefore, the first step to restoring integrity and preserving universal harmony. Even deeper is the balance between mercy and justice, a duality that presents itself as the pinnacle of divine teachings. While justice imposes order and corrects deviations, mercy reveals itself as the force that allows forgiveness and redemption. This sublime combination teaches us that, even in the face of severe consequences of errors, there is always the possibility of starting over. Divine mercy softens the impact of mistakes and offers ways for each being to reconcile with themselves and with the universe. It is in this encounter between the rigor of justice and the tenderness of forgiveness that true spiritual evolution is formed. By accepting this duality, beings are invited to transform the weight of their errors into lessons that strengthen their essence, making them more resilient, conscious, and prepared to face life's challenges. This integration of opposing forces, correction and welcoming, allows each fall to become a step towards wisdom, and the price of error to be the fuel for deep and lasting transformation. When reflecting on the nature of divine wrath, we realize that it functions as a spiritual thermostat, adjusting the balance of the cosmos whenever disorder threatens to settle in. When humanity's paths deviate from the higher purpose, divine wrath emerges not as a mere scourge, but as an urgent call to responsibility and renewal. This call manifests in various ways, through unexpected events, personal crises, or even subtle signs permeating daily life. Its role is to remind us that true transformation is not a fruit of complacency, but of honest confrontation with one's own weaknesses and limitations. It is in this confrontation that we find the opportunity to rise again, to forge ourselves with the fire of experience, acquiring a new form of being that is both stronger and more conscious. Thus, divine wrath becomes an indispensable ally on the journey towards true evolution, urging us to abandon paths leading to stagnation and to embrace change with courage and determination. On the other hand, the consequences of misguided choices highlight the vital importance of individual responsibility for universal balance. Every act, every decision made without proper reflection, generates a domino effect that can compromise not only personal life, but also the order that governs the universe. When we neglect the teachings that sustain us, we risk creating a spiral of disorder, where selfishness and fear become destructive forces capable of destabilizing the very essence of existence. The weight of these choices becomes palpable, demanding a price often paid with the loss of growth opportunities, the rupture of relationships, and even the dissolution of inner harmony. Therefore, recognizing the interconnection between our actions and the greater balance of the cosmos is fundamental for us to live consciously and responsibly. It is in this recognition that the key to preventing disorder and ensuring that each decision contributes to building a more just, harmonious, and meaningful future resides. In summary, the deep analysis of divine justice reveals that God's wrath, far from being an implacable punishment, is an instrument of restoration and balance intended to correct deviations and stimulate spiritual renewal. At the same time, the consequences of misguided choices show us that carelessness and individual irresponsibility have the potential to shake not only personal life, but the entire order that maintains the universe in balance. It is in this context that the delicate and powerful balance between mercy and justice, which offers each being the opportunity to transform errors into learning and to lift their essence, is placed. This duality, which unites the rigor necessary to restore order and the compassion indispensable to promote redemption, is the foundation upon which true spiritual evolution is built. Only when we understand that each aspect of divine justice, whether in its manifestation of restorative wrath or its capacity to forgive and transform, integrates to form a harmonious system, can we become true agents of change in our lives and the world around us. Thus, by facing divine justice with an open mind and a receptive heart, we are invited to reflect on our role in the grand scheme of existence. Each act, each decision, carries the seed of transformation, and it is up to us to choose the path of responsibility and renewal. It is through this commitment to inner truth that we become capable of facing the most challenging aspects, transmuting fear and disorder into opportunities for growth and strengthening our essence. By recognizing divine wrath as a call to evolution and the consequences of choices as indispensable lessons for our journey, we pave the way for a life of balance, where mercy aligns with justice to guide us toward a fuller and more conscious existence. Each of us, as part of the vast fabric of the universe, has the responsibility to contribute to the restoration of harmony and the construction of a future marked by light, wisdom, and true redemption. At the core of divine teachings lies a duality that has challenged and inspired humanity since the beginning: the balance between mercy and justice. This symbiosis is not mere coincidence but a profound reflection of the divine nature, where justice, representing order and moral rigor, joins mercy, the symbol of compassion and forgiveness. Divine justice manifests as a force that ensures each action has its due consequence, maintaining universal balance and promoting responsibility for each choice. However, when this same justice is tempered by mercy, it transforms into an instrument of redemption, offering the opportunity for errors and failures to be corrected and turned into lessons of personal evolution. This sacred balance allows that, even in moments of downfall, human beings find the path to rise and improve, as mercy recognizes the possibility of change and the inherent potential for renewal. The integration of these two principles is evident in how divine teachings guide spiritual life. On one hand, justice imposes limits and consequences, reminding us that each act has its price and that the disorder generated by misguided choices needs to be repaired to restore balance. On the other hand, mercy presents itself as the response to repentance and the quest for redemption, allowing those who have erred to find a new beginning and transform moments of failure into stepping stones for growth. Thus, mercy does not annul justice but complements it, providing a path that respects both the need for correction and the human capacity to reinvent oneself. This perfect marriage between rigor and compassion invites the chosen ones to see divine justice not as a final sentence, but as a fundamental step in the continuous process of spiritual evolution. In our personal journey, understanding and incorporating this duality is essential for development and transformation. By recognizing that justice demands responsibility and that mercy allows learning from mistakes, we are inspired to seek an inner balance that reflects this universal truth. Each challenge faced, each obstacle overcome, can be transformed in the fire that forges a sharper and more resilient steel, prepared for life's tempests. This balance strengthens our character and teaches us to forgive, both ourselves and others, creating an environment where personal evolution becomes not only possible but necessary for a fulfilling existence. The practice of this internal balance reflects the essence of divine teachings. The union of justice and mercy offers a path of redemption that enables new beginnings and constant renewal of the soul. This understanding drives us to transform the price of errors into life lessons, leading us to take responsibility for our choices and to embrace forgiveness as an indispensable tool for growth. By internalizing this duality, we learn that the rigor of justice is not an unbearable burden but a mechanism that, when allied with compassion, leads to true personal evolution and the restoration of harmony in the universe. Therefore, by integrating these principles into our existence, we become agents of transformation capable of rebuilding our inner selves and contributing to the creation of a world where order and compassion coexist in perfect harmony. This is the essence of the balance between mercy and justice, an invitation for each of us to become more conscious, resilient, and open to redemption, transforming challenges into opportunities for growth and achieving a life of profound spiritual evolution. As the narrative deepens, a veil of mystery surrounds each word, as if the sharp steel is being slowly forged in the fire of revelation. There is a subtle whisper in the air, a murmur inviting us to realize that something of immense value is about to emerge but still remains hidden, waiting for the exact moment to be revealed. This enigmatic atmosphere makes every second charged with tension, as if the universe is preparing to reveal a secret so profound that only the chosen ones could understand, and this secret is the key to transforming each break into an opportunity for rebirth. As the suspense intensifies, the feeling that we are on the verge of a crucial discovery becomes almost palpable. Each moment seems laden with the weight of expectations and the price of a truth that can no longer be ignored. The environment transforms into a field of energy where mystery blends with reality, creating a silent symphony that echoes the teachings forged in the fire of experience. The invitation to remain attentive and absorb every detail becomes inevitable, for the proximity of this imminent revelation awakens in us an almost uncontrollable desire to uncover what has been carefully guarded. Have you ever questioned if you truly know the path you are treading? Amid the rush of days, how often do we stop to reflect if our choices are guided by a true purpose or merely by the fear of the unknown? Could it be that with each decision, we are paying a silent price, accumulating like the weight of time, distancing us from a greater truth? This series of questions, launched with the firmness of unwavering steel, urges us to confront our own uncertainties, to challenge apparent security, and to seek, with courage, the answers that can transform our existence. It is an invitation to awaken and elevate consciousness, reminding us that each doubt can be the first step towards an evolution that makes us truly indestructible. What if each choice you make is, in fact, a reflection of what you fear to face? Do you dare to fight against the chains that try to trap you in a cycle of conformity, where the price of silence is the loss of your very essence? Imagine, for a moment, that every moment of indecision is an invitation to question your own reality, a call to transform the fire of doubt into a driving force that makes you more firmly anchored in truth. These challenging questions force us to face our fears and recognize that true power lies in having the courage to mix reason and emotion so that we can become the chosen ones that life demands, those who do not allow themselves to be dominated by inertia, but rise to seek a path of light and balance. In the seemingly ordinary details of daily life, signs and alerts emerge that announce an imminent change, like small sparks indicating the beginning of a transformative fire. It might be the attentive gaze at the horizon, where the sky is tinged with colors that seem to whisper ancient secrets, or the simple act of realizing that each decision, no matter how small, carries the weight of destiny. These discrete signs, as subtle as the touch of steel being shaped in the fire, are invitations not to ignore the alerts life gives us. They suggest that justice, both relentless and compassionate, approaches to restore balance, reminding us that the price of ignoring these messages could be the loss of a unique opportunity for rebirth. So, stay alert, for each sign may be the herald of a truth that will irrevocably transform your existence. As we reach this decisive moment, we realize how all the teachings, narratives, and reflections have intertwined to form a unique fabric of wisdom and transformation. Each parable, each warning story, and each historical example presented throughout this journey were carefully selected to illustrate that true evolution does not come from mere punishments, but from a deep recognition of the weight of our choices and the need to lift our spirit. Since the beginning, the chosen ones have learned that the fire of experience, when directed with consciousness, has the power to forge a character as sharp as the purest steel, capable of facing any fear and overcoming the breaks of destiny. We have seen how ignorance and complacency can bring devastating consequences, transforming inertia into a high and inevitable price, and how true divine justice manifests not to punish, but to restore balance. Through historical accounts and teachings that mix reason with faith, it was possible to understand that internal transformation is the path to becoming truly unshakable, indestructible, and untouchable. Now, with each teaching converging into a clear call, we prepare the ground for the final revelation, where all fragments of wisdom will unite to point the direction of the greatest purpose, the renewal of the soul and the reconstruction of the spirit. The time has come to reveal the true reason why the chosen ones must avoid certain attitudes that distance them from the essence of transformation. The message that has been carefully hidden until now has a purpose: to show that true divine wrath is not a simple punishment, but a clear sign that harmony has been broken by negligence and lack of internal consciousness. Those who are led by impulsive behaviors, who ignore the call of self-knowledge, and who let fear and complacency dominate them end up paying a devastating price. The price of seeing their essence fragment, of allowing injustice to settle within, and of becoming unable to raise their own pillars. It is precisely this disconnection, this failure to mix reason with faith, that awakens the fire that forges character, transforming each break into an alert for the urgent need for internal change. The final revelation is clear. Avoiding attitudes that feed stagnation and self-destruction is essential for us to become firm and resilient beings, capable of fighting against challenges and maintaining the strength needed to evolve. Only by embracing internal discipline and recognizing the weight of each decision can the chosen ones transcend their limits and achieve an existence marked by restorative justice and universal harmony. Now, as this journey reaches its climax, it is time to transform each absorbed teaching into concrete action. Personal transformation is urgent and non-negotiable. It demands that each of us become aware of the price that carelessness and complacency can charge upon the soul. Divine justice, as relentless as the fire that forges steel, is not a threat but an invitation for you to rise and embrace the opportunity to reinvent yourself. I invite you, who identify as one of the true chosen ones, to reflect deeply on your attitudes and take responsibility for each choice, transforming past mistakes into foundations for a more unshakable and resilient future. Remember that each challenge faced is a chance to mix with the strength of the universe, to become indestructible and untouchable in the face of adversities, and to discover that fear does not need to be seen as an obstacle, but as a push to fight with courage. If you truly desire to evolve, if you yearn for an internal transformation that firmly prepares you to face life's consequences, then this is your call to action. Leave behind the behaviors that distance you from your true essence, and embrace the discipline that will lead you to become the best version of yourself. Let today's revelation be the turning point that drives you to build an existence. And you, my chosen ones, have you ever experienced that moment when you felt the weight of the divine call, as if God were truly angry and justice was approaching? Share your stories and experiences in the comments, for each account is an act of faith that strengthens our community and unites us on the journey towards transformation. If you believe that when the alarm sounds, it is time to rise and fight for a life aligned with divine teachings, leave your affirmation that you are ready to face this challenge. After all, when God is angry, we know it is the beginning of a profound and necessary change. Thank you for accompanying me this far. If this content resonated in your heart, follow the channel, like, and share this video with those who might also identify with it. If you are one of the chosen ones and do not want to miss the chance to discover the 5 signs that indicate you are about to leave this world behind, click now on the next video. This revelation can change your life and fill what is missing in your journey of transformation. Do not let this opportunity slip away. Your next step of faith and discovery is already waiting for you.